sounds like this when I get to that Jimi Hendrix chord I was just showing you. Whoa, look at that. So I was playing that exact same chord I was showing you with my pinky up at the 6th fret of the E string, you know, adding the 9. Basically what I'm doing is I'm playing the chord and I'm just shifting it up a semitone and back down. Now, that movement's a little tricky to get down at first, but I think it's worth working on, because once you get it down, you can really just play it all the time in your rhythm playing whenever you think that it's the right moment to do so. You could play it here, or here, or here. I think you get the idea now, but I think it's a cool technique to work on, and it's worthwhile in the long run, if you like the sound of it. But if you don't like the sound of it, maybe it's not worthwhile to work on it. Anyways, let's continue. One thing I should mention is once you get to the E chord, there are actually a couple different ways you can play it to, again, like I was saying, spice up your playing. So once you get to the E chord, we sort of went over this idea, but there are also other ways you can approach that too. For instance, you can play with the rhythm with adding some triplets in there as opposed to. And if you don't hear the difference, no worries, that'll come in time. It's just a rhythmic difference with how I'm playing it. There are so many different ways you can do it, but that's something I do a lot when we're playing live. Another thing I like to do is, see here, I have my first finger, right, on the 1st fret of the G string. Sometimes I like to take it off and then put it back on. And it'll sound like this. Those are just little ideas that you can use and use in the future anytime you're playing an E chord. There are lots of different ways you can, as I was saying, add some color to your playing. And again, if that totally went over your head, that's okay. That's okay. That's something to work on in the future. And I totally didn't get stuff like that until fairly recently, and that is no problem at all. You can still play the song without that stuff, but that's just a little bit of information I thought I'd add for anyone who might be interested. And so, another difference in the way that I play the lead guitar part as opposed to the rhythm guitar part is when it comes to the bar chords, I'm actually not barring at all. So I'm playing the shape, but I'm lifting up my 1st finger, so it's not barring across all these strings. So you get an open chord like this. So just to make sure you understand what I mean, I have my 1st finger here on the 2nd fret of the E string, my 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the A string, and my pinky finger right here on the 4th fret of the D string, and my middle finger, sorry to give you the middle finger like that, there's no other way I can show you though, on the 3rd fret, the G string, and these last 2 strings are open. And this is a really cool chord because you can, again, move it all around. It's a really fun way to, I'm going to be using this term over and over again in this video, but add some color to your playing, add some spice to your playing. But in rhythm, I'll show you what that might sound like, going from the verse and then to the chorus. Same part I showed you before, except as I was saying, instead of barring, just lifting up that finger. Obviously that only applies to the bar chords that I'm playing with the root on the E string. I should mention that, but there you go. We're gonna move on to the solo part. And before I get into that, I think it's worth pointing out that you actually, at this point, already know how to play the entire song, minus the lead part, because the chord progression that happens underneath the guitar solo and underneath the bridge part that comes afterwards with the vocal, the little oohs that go over the bridge part, Same chord progression.
3 hours later.
Alright, so just a quick note before we jump in. I actually just came back from seeing the new Ari Aster movie, Midsommar, I don't know, however you pronounce it, before I had the chance to finish filming this, but that's why the lighting may or may not be different. I don't know. I can't see what you're seeing right now. But anyways, I'm just gonna jump into the solo. I think I'll play it for you once at full speed, and then just go through it phrase by phrase. So I think what I'm gonna do is just go through it phrase by phrase and let you know what frets I'm playing, and hopefully that helps you figure out how to play the solo. So basically, the first phrase sounds like this. And what that is a full step bend from the 19th fret of the B string to the 17th fret of the B string to the 16th fret. And the next phrase sounds like this. So what that is you go to the 18th fret of the G string, to the 16th fret of the B string, to the 17th fret of the B string, to the 19th fret of the B string, and then you play the 16th fret of the E string 3 times. Then you do a little bend on the 17th fret of the E string, and then back to the 16th fret. Now sometimes instead of just landing on the 16th fret when I'm playing it, I'll do a little hammer-on and a pull-off between the 16th and 17th fret. But that's up to you. You don't have to do that. But if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to. That is my gift to you. And then the next phrase sounds like this. Which is just a nice little hammer-on pull-off lick. Sort of rooted on the 12th fret of the E string. You'll see what I mean in a second. And basically what you're doing there is you're playing the 14th fret of the B string to the 12th fret of the E string, and then you're doing a pull-off from the 14th fret to the 12th fret on the E string, and then you play the 14th fret of the B string back to the 12th fret of the E string again. That's what the first part sounds like. And then what you're doing is another pull-off from the 16th fret of the E string to the 12th fret. And then again, 14th fret of the B string to the 12th fret of the E string. And then you just do that 2 times in a row. And then you land on the 12th fret again. Actually, now that I think of it, I think you just play the 12th fret once after. Like that, you land right there. I'm sorry, I haven't broken down this solo before. This is the first time. So now I know. That's how you do it.